Hey, hi, hello. So I am here because I have started my Tarot TBR and I thought I would update on my thoughts. So I started Not a Happy Family by Shari Lapina, and I'm listening to this on audio because I got approved for a NetGalley arc of it, which I'm really happy about. I have mixed opinions on Shari Lapina. I have gave 2 of her books 3 stars, 2 of her books of 4 stars, and I've DNF'd one. So I have good days and bad days with her books, but I like the way that this one is going. My dog is going to try and get up. So in this book we follow a family, and the mother and father, Fred and Sheila, both end up murdered, and each of their kids has equal motivation in my mind. So they have Dan, the son, who is excuse me, they have Dan, the son, who is in crippling debt because his dad sold the company out from underneath him and he hasn't been able to get a job, which means they've been going through their savings, him and his wife Lisa. And yeah, like, he has pretty good motive considering his dad wouldn't even loan him money to help him out a rough spot that he put him in. And then they have Catherine, which is the oldest daughter, and she was meant to inherit the house that they lived in, that they grew up in, but her dad decided that he was going to sell the house because he's a dick, pretty much. And then we have the youngest, which is Jenna, who is kind of the wild child. She's an artist. She lives off like a stipend her dad gives her every month. I don't think she has as much motive as the rest of them because, like, her dad gives her money to live the life that she lives. So I don't see why she would, like, kill her cash cow, pretty much. But you never know. And then there is the housekeeper. I am forgetting her name, and I cannot actually pronounce her name properly. But when I come back, I will be sure to mention her name. She has been with the family for, like, since the kids were born, and she was a nanny, and then she became a maid, and then she became the cleaner of the house. So she's been there a long time. She was actually the one that found Fred and Sheila. And then we have Audrey, that's Fred's sister, and she has been playing games because she says to the kids that she was going to get half of his estate and the other half would get divided between the 3 of them. We know now, because of the detectives that we follow, that that's a lie, that the 3 kids will get the estate equaled between them, but then there is an illegitimate daughter that no one really knows will get $1 million. The maid will get $1 million, and Audrey, his sister, will get $1 million. So she's lying, and I don't know why. Then there is the fact that Catherine left her house the night of the murder and returned the next day. Her parents showed up dead, and she told her husband not to tell them that she went over there. Then the son, he went out for a drive and didn't come back until his wife was sleeping, so he could have done it because he wasn't actually with his wife. I don't see how Jenna could have done it because she was in New York and it's a very long drive to where she would need to go. I think it's like 3-4 hours at least, so, like, she could do it, but, like, that would be an 8-hour travel. I think people would notice if she was gone. I also think that, like, she has the least motivation out of all of them. So far, I'm really enjoying it. The plot line is really intriguing me because, like, the dad, Fred, was an absolute twat. Like, he is so mean, especially to his children. So I feel like there is a lot of people that would want him dead. There is also this daughter, this illegitimate daughter that we have not met, so I don't know if she would have anything to do with it. But yeah, like, if I was to rate this now, I'm 35% of the way through. It would be sitting at a solid 3 stars because I'm enjoying the story, the characters, and the plot. Excuse my ratchet ass nails. So I'm really enjoying that part of the story, and I do see this, like, blossom into, like, a web of, like, everyone could have done it, but who done it? And I'm here for it. So I'm going to hopefully finish that tonight because I can listen to the audiobook at work. So I'm hoping I can finish that tonight. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with my progress so far and I'm really enjoying it. So I will check back in once I have finished this book and give you my final thoughts. Hey, I am back because I finished Not a Happy Family by Shari Lapina. So this is a mystery thriller. I gave it 4 stars. It was really good read. I really enjoy Shari Lapina's work because she writes suburban thrillers so well, and the lies and webs and deceit that is just like perfectly weaved into her narrative, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and this time it really, really worked. I loved following this story. I really enjoyed the characters because in this book we follow a family. Fred and Sheila is the mum and dad, and they have 3 children, Catherine, Dan and Jenna, and the 3 siblings are completely unique in of themselves, but their interactions with each other are believable, and I really enjoyed that. Also, the fact that you could trust no one in this book made it so high stakes because they are all lying, all covering up for themselves, and whether it's because of murder or not, you don't know. Like, they could just be covering it up for other reasons. They don't want their skeletons getting out in the closet. So like, that weaved into the narrative, no one person was reliable. The narrative wasn't reliable, which I enjoyed because it kept me on my seat, kept me guessing, and the reveal was fine. The epilogue though really done it for me. I enjoyed the little twist at the epilogue. It wasn't super overwhelming, but it was nice, and I would definitely recommend this book. It is a fun, a fast-paced thriller, and everything in it from the first page keeps you wanting to know more. It keeps you guessing, and if you like wealthy suburban kind of families that have all of these dark, dirty secrets, and like, I don't know how to explain it really. I'm trying my best. You know words, Shannon, use them. It the narrative is great, the characters are great, and it interweaves a story that keeps you on the edge of your seat, keeps you guessing, and I loved this book. This was a 4-star read, which is a high rating for a thriller for me because the more thrillers I read, I realise the lower my ratings are getting of them. So I'm really happy that this became a 4-star read, a 4-star thriller, because I had an amazing time. Thank you, NetGalley, for giving me a arc of this book. I am highly thankful and glad I got the opportunity to read this. So if you're looking for something fun and fast-paced, I would definitely pick this up. It is definitely worth checking out. I think the next book that I'm going to pick up from my TBR is Survive the Night by Riley Sager, just simply because it's on my Kindle. I'm already reading a physical book at the moment. I'm reading An Enchantment of Ravens, and I'm hoping to finish that off. I started it back in July and didn't quite finish it before it turned August, so I'm still working on that, but I'm getting there. So that's my physical read. So I think the best way for my August read would be to read an ebook. So they're 2 different formats. I am really looking forward to Survive the Night. I listened to Home Before Dark by Riley Sager when it came out, and I was pleasantly surprised that I gave that book a 5 stars. I really had a ball with that book. The audiobook was great. I highly recommend the audiobook. So I'm really excited to jump back in to one of Riley Sager's thrillers, and I believe this one is about a serial killer and a girl that gets into the car with him. and they go on a journey. That's what I believe this is about. I could be wrong and have to cut all that out. I may be thinking of a different plot for a different book. But yeah, I'm excited about this anyway. I requested this on NetGalley, not thinking that I would get approved for it, but lo and behold, I did get approved for it, and that makes me like so happy and so thankful. So I'm gonna read this, I'm gonna prioritize this because like it's an anticipated release for me, and I wasn't gonna buy it because it's really expensive. So I'm glad that I get the chance to read it in exchange for a review. But just keep in mind that Not a Happy Family and Survive the Night, just because they are NetGalley reads, all opinions and reviews are honest and my own. And yeah, I will check back in once I have some thoughts on Survive the Night. Hi, I am back because I finished Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is a mystery thriller, and I was so excited to be given the opportunity to get a NetGalley arc of this book, so I got overly excited for this because it sounded so good. In this book, we follow Charlie, whose best friend Maddie has just been murdered, and she's dealing with a lot of guilt about the situation, so she wants to leave her college and go home to see her grandmother, and she decides to put a flyer out on like a information board at her college to see if she can get a lift. That's when she meets Josh, who wants to give her a lift if she splits gas money. But that's probably not a good idea when there's a killer on the loose and the killer just killed your best friend. Like, they're writing about this killer on papers and stuff, and she's just like gonna get in a car with a stranger. So the premise is like, is the stranger the person who killed her best friend? Now, I liked the premise of this book so much. I did like the characters. Charlie has mental health issues and she sees films in her head, so it's kind of like a distorted reality, and when you're following along in her narrative, it's so unreliable and the twists just keep coming. I went into this thinking that it was going to be like a interview with a serial killer. I thought that Josh would be the killer and he killed Maddie, Charlie's best friend, and it's them trapped in the car together. And in some aspects, it did give me that vibe. It had a very claustrophobic, very tense atmosphere, and I loved it. However, the twist, I wasn't overly impressed with the twist. Maybe that's because I went in with preconceived notions about what the narrative was going to be. The twist wasn't really like overwhelmingly exciting, but the epilogue was. I really enjoyed the epilogue. So overall, I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. It was tense, it was really well written, the characters were great, and because this book has such a small cast of characters, the ones that are written, because they're written so well, they just pop, and I really enjoyed that. So this is definitely worth a read. I read this in 2 days. It was so quick, and yeah, like I knocked off a star because I didn't really like the reveal or the twist, however you want to put it, because I thought it was quite predictable, and I also felt like the plot went totally off of what the premise was. And again, that could be me and my preconceived notions going into the book, expecting one thing and getting another. The thing that I got wasn't overwhelmingly 5 stars favorite, but it also wasn't a letdown. This book was actually really great, and I'm glad I picked this up. I'm going to talk about mild spoilers now, so maybe just skip until the picture of the book disappears so you know when I have stopped talking about them. So, spoilers. Let's just start off with the twist. Robbie was the killer. Her boyfriend she was leaving to go home, but like they knew that it was kind of the end of their relationship. He was the one that killed Maddie and all the other girls. Robbie is your textbook grandiose narcissist. He feels like he's so special and that everyone else is below him, and he killed all of these girls because they were outgoing and happy and bashful and like energetic. Like he didn't like their personality, so he took them out of this world because they weren't special like him. That's why he didn't kill Charlie, because he did think Charlie was special. But like I get why it was good to put him as the killer, because swapping the Josh Jake for Robbie was interesting, because this whole time throughout this narrative you're wondering what Charlie's gotten herself in for, because you're like, oh my god, you just got into a car with a killer, like you're gonna die. But it's so tense and everything that happens is like so questionable, and it doesn't help that Charlie's mind isn't exactly a rational mind. It's kind of like an altered reality. So it's like being with her when she's like not here, she's thinking of a film in her head, and you're left guessing along with Charlie if it was real or not. So that kept me on the edge of my seat. I really loved that element of the book. I thought it was greatly portrayed, greatly written, and it really changed the vibe of the narrative. So yeah, I was all in for that. And then the end, the epilogue, the thing that I absolutely adored was that she ended up marrying Jake, Josh, whatever you want to call him. And I was kind of rooting for this once he saved her from Marge, Maddie's revengeful grandmother, who I get, but like, why Charlie? Like, Marge comes back to find answers, and she could have done it in another way. I felt like if she approached Charlie, Charlie would have told her everything that she knew, but because she like got a bounty hunter to kidnap her, it was all weird. Like, I don't know why she'd done that, but I get it. It adds to the plot of the story. But once Jake saved Charlie, I was hoping for a relationship between them. And when we got the epilogue, it was like 5 years later, and they were husband and wife. So they did end up together, which is absolutely brilliant. I love that little, like, it wasn't even a romance book, it was a mystery thriller book, but the romance in it was pretty well done and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I give it 4 stars. Thank you again to NetGalley, who gave me a free ARC of this book in exchange for an honest review. I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad that I got to read this book because it was great. I will check back in again once I have read another book. I am kind of killing it with my reading so far. I'm so happy, and yeah, I need to read Lore and Rainbow Grey. So those are the 2 books that I have left on my Tarot TBR. So hopefully I can get them done really quickly and then come back at you with more thoughts.
Every time we touch, your hands are colder, colder. There's no beating coming from your wooden chest. Frozen grin, a mannequin when
Hi, I am back. It's been a while. It's been a little while. I am deciding to cut off this vlog here. This is my TBR Tarot vlog because I have had a huge plummet in my mental health over the last week. And things in my personal life haven't been going that great, so I've decided to stop this vlog here because I am not reading anything that's on my TBR. I am currently reading Bitten by Kelly Armstrong, but this is going to go in another vlog because I needed a break. I didn't want to force myself to pick up my TBR because I wasn't in the mood for it. I didn't want to force myself to read really, so I decided to pick this up on a whim, and to be honest, it's fun. It's taken me out of my mind and kind of helping me escape reality for a bit, and it doesn't take me a lot of mental power to read this. So yeah, I am sorry that I am not going to finish this TBR. I have Lore and Rainbow Grey. That's the two books left on my TBR, and I'm just not going to get to them. I'm not going to be mad at myself about it because we all have bad days and good days, and I don't want to feel like I'm punishing myself for not finishing my TBR even when I am not feeling mentally healthy at the moment. So I have just decided that I am going to call this vlog a win because I really need one, and I am going to forgo my punishment this month as a gift to myself for surviving life. And yeah, so again, I am sorry that not all my TBR books have been read and are in this vlog. I will probably read them at some point, so my thoughts will be for Lore and Rainbow Grey will be on my channel at some point. I don't know when, because Bookoplathon, the Magical Readathon and TBR Tarot are all next month, and I have just filmed my TBR video and it is a big one. I am so excited. I hope my reading picks up next month. I also hope that mentally I have a better month next month. So I will see you then, I guess, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you're reading, let me know what you are, how you're feeling, and I wish you all the best. Stay safe, happy and healthy, and I shall see you next time. Bye.
Pack up my summer in a Ziploc bag. Old maps and tchotchkes, photographs at this and that. I'll write myself a letter so that I'll remember